Hi, I'm Isaac Go, Ateneo Blue Eagle, and I finished my undergraduate degree in BS Management of Applied Chemistry. I'm here today to show you some of my study tips. So rule number one is put your phone away. Mobile phones will help you take notes, take pictures in class, contact. It's very difficult to study with your phone. I succumb to this a lot, and it's really tough because especially you just need one notification. We live in a society where we always want to know what's going on. So for note taking, it really varies on what you're trying to do. I personally just use a yellow pad because, well, I don't really pick any brand of yellow pad. I just choose one. The reason why I choose yellow pad is because number one, there's some study that says that the color yellow helps you study better or memorize better. I don't know. And really also I use a yellow pad because I'm not the type of guy who wants to bring 5 notebooks on a day to class. So for me, a yellow pad allows me to get as messy as I want by trying to get as much notes as I can, and then I can rewrite it again later. And note taking really depends on your style. So I personally like to write bullet points because it's hard. Long sentences, you'll never be able to keep up with your professor that way. And then you'll realize is that your professor will never wait for you. I'm not saying electronics is bad, but there's a proven study that you memorize better if you write it. I also have a small notebook with me, and this is what I try to use to write my to-do list, what I have, my cuts, my grades. So okay guys, yeah, I do cut too also, but you have to make sure you get your money's worth when you cut. Most important thing, never go to class without a ball pen unless you wanna borrow from someone. Always bring extra ball pens too, so you can lend someone if you need to. I choose these two because I like gel pens. I'm a sucker for gel pens, but they're bad for yellow pad. So this is what I usually use in tests. And I use this one. This is Pilot because it doesn't blot on my notes. And also group work's really important. Get group mates. I understand my group. We had people who wanted to do work early, and we had people who liked to cram. So what we do is we would finish all the work early, and then we give it to the guy who likes to cram, and he'll be the one to finish it and submit it because as long as we get our jobs done, he's pressured to do his job. And that's made our group work. It may crash and burn sometimes, but overall we had a good success rate. Really, my best advice would be with time management, learn what you need to do, what you want to do, and what should you do. It's 3 completely different things. You need to study. You need to spend time with your family. You need to rest. You need to also relax a little bit, but understand the situation of everything. You can't relax when you have 3 long tests in a week. Do that after. Find that balance. Find that way to say to yourself that, of course, you need to reward yourself. If you just completely study, if that's you, great. If not, I understand it's going to be burnout. Really, really hard to study when there is no end result. My best tip with you if you're trying to juggle a lot of things, get work done early because you don't want to cram 3 events with your studies. If you can get something done early, get it done. Look ahead. See your calendar. Especially at the start of the year, a lot of times professors will lighten the load. Look for those gaps where all the professors kind of lay off a bit. Use those time to recover and get more work done. Because eventually, if you do more work now, you're gonna cram less. And from experience, you cram less, you normally get better results. Unless you're a master crammer, then props to you and you can cram all you want. This was something from a video for procrastinator. From a manager for procrastinator TEDx talk. He said, when you try to get work done, of course, when it's farther from the exam deadline, you try to get a little bit of done. Then as the deadline gets closer, you try to get as much done, more done each week, each day. I think that's a proper way to do a requirement. We're gonna be like SpongeBob writing this paper, the driving paper. That's it. Even just that, doing it 1 week ahead of time really helps. Gets you to say, okay, at least I did something for it. And there's a little progress done rather than you're gonna start from scratch 0% to 100. Even though you're not a math student, when you take math or science or anything that needs a calculator, make this your best friend. I am not exaggerating this enough because honestly, if you memorize where everything is in a test, you're wasting less time looking for stuff. Yeah, and make sure it has battery. You never want to run out of battery in a test. That's like the worst thing you do. And you're midway solving to the test and your calculator dies. What I do usually is I try to write down I note take what I'm gonna say in the oral exam. For example, you take a thesis statement, you read it. Take it part by part. So take first line, for example, first, and then you have to say something important about this. Try to practice. Try to practice in a mirror, time yourself. Professors won't give you 10, 20 minutes to talk. They'll give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes to impress me or not. Be ready for the worst possible situation. I'm always like that. I always prepare. I'm not ready for this thesis, man. I'll practice for it. So these are my study tips. I hope you picked a little thing from here today, and I wish you all the best.